3-0 down to a pub side. 3-0 down.
So should we die then?
Wake up and smell that fucking coffee.
Where's the coffee?
Wake up.
It's time for a change. If your milk goes stale, what do you do with it? You throw it out. You don't put it back in the fridge, do you?
Gooner Claude TV. Well, is the deal on? Is the deal off? Aubameyang, is he coming? Is he going? Is he not going? If he's not coming, I don't know. I've got the man, the plug here. The plug. He's the man that told me weeks before
Sinelli,
about the weeks and weeks before the recruitment staff were coming. No one knew about it, and then the recruitment staff came.
And equally, everyone was quoting 80 million for the Walcott. I said, no, it's 20 million plus 5 in add-ons.
You also told me about did you not also tell me that Alexis was going to Manchester United and not Man City? Was it you that told me that?
I knew when they joined. I couldn't publicise it because I was told not to, but they had joined the race. It was obviously
when everyone thought Man City were getting him, you actually said Man United were getting him, didn't you? You were. I think you were the first.
There was when we were at the Vitality, right. And then there was that leap over. Yeah, there was.
Yeah, and also now I'm hearing Balaguer is now saying that Dortmund do not think we have the funds, which is worrying our fan base quite a lot now, that you don't have the funds for this deal to go ahead. I mean, how you seeing the situation? Because I know you've been telling me that this deal is virtually done.
So I'm gonna firstly quote Donald Trump here and say it's fake news by Balaguer.
Yeah.
As I've been saying to my Twitter followers, of which they'll see this video because it's supposed to be tagged back, but everyone needs to realise to calm down. So this is the situation. There is no situation where Dortmund don't feel we have the money. And to clarify that, in the summer, Wenger demanded Kroenke twice for money after Leicester and Stoke. And Kroenke eventually, before the end of the window, so whatever you sell, you can spend. Hence the 90 million on Lamar. We sold 90 million's worth of players then, and then now we spend after the 90 million bid for Lamar. The situation is this: we have that money left over. In addition to that, we've got 20 million from Walcott and 10 million from Coquelin, along with the savings in wages we would have got back and other payments that have come towards Arsenal, which means we have a budget of around 140 million pounds. To suggest that we don't have any money or they don't feel that is false. We have agreed a fee, as I've been stating, for over a week now with Borussia Dortmund for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. And just before you say anything, I told all the Arsenal fan TV lot about this on December the 3rd when we played United and lost. Now, that was weeks before any link of any possible media publication. The situation is this. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is in a situation where Dortmund have to falsely leak information in regards to the transfer. Because they're on the stock exchange, which means they're owned in shares and they're owned by the public rather than as a limited, which like we are. So the fact that we have shares, we're owned by we're owned privately. It's not on the public domain. This is the situation. Because of the way stocks work and the way that prices of stocks fluctuate, they have to deny it because they have to tell the shareholders first before anything else. And I mean that. Because otherwise it's malpractice and then share price can drop and then illegal transactions within those owning shares can take place. In addition, there's a court hearing on Monday about the tragedy of the bombing where Aubameyang will be giving evidence for that. Because obviously, as you know, the Borussia Dortmund team bus was bombed due to a claim for insurance. And that is one of the most scummiest things I've possibly ever heard. But the deal's not an issue, the money's not an issue. And I'll tell you this now. Firstly, taken to the stock exchange, hence why we've had to keep denying everything, why Wenger's been coming out and stating such. But in addition, what you also have to look at is the fact that why would we send our big four, who are all new, all to make a point of proof, to Dortmund? They got snapped. But in particular, why was Hughes family there? Because he is, and quoted by the club, is there for the final stages of contract negotiations to finalise the deal. Why would they send him if a deal wasn't in place? And you can't sign a deal in place with a contract negotiator if you haven't agreed a fee. Regardless if the team says you can talk to the player, that's talks informally, not formally with negotiating genuine finances with a contract negotiator, legal specialist there. And he's from Team Sky, who have had a lot of issues with such, and he's world-renowned, being fantastic. Sinelli, Swiss players, that's what he does. All this information is being fed is from Borussia Dortmund because of the stock prices, but also they know our fan base is volatile. They know that we will panic and we will cause pressure onto the club. And that means they will get a bigger deal because they're struggling to get a replacement. Olivier Giroud was part of the deal, but not in the direct as how Mkhitaryan and Alexis, for example, was swap plus money. Disregard the fact that there wasn't money. The agent of Mkhitaryan, Raiola, would not do the deal because no one pays agents fees. That's why we did it under the radar, that section of it. With this situation, the deal, as I've been saying, is not an issue. My sources have clarified, and I've been worried. I'm an overthinker. I've pestered my sources. I've got 7 sources, and I wait for 3 to 4 of them to confirm it equally because they're separate, because that shows legitimacy. And I have no doubt but to say, and I wouldn't put myself on the line as well, I have no doubt to say that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang will be becoming an Arsenal player still. From what I understand, the issues are that they're trying to find a replacement and they want more money. So that would mean that Giroud wasn't part of the main deal, it was part of a sub-deal. So, for example, if they had a problem, we'd loan him to them for 3 months. They have been in talks. They haven't dropped. It's complete lies. Our boys are still actually out there. And also, Aubameyang wasn't picture training for 2 days. And remember that. And equally, it doesn't matter if he plays tomorrow. Like, everyone needs to calm down. Alexis was in the squad. He left from the team hotel the night before. Ox played against Liverpool 4 days before he signed for Liverpool. Right. Like, there's no link with any of that. Yeah. And all of you guys, listen to me. Calm down here.
You also remember telling me about the Ox as well.
Exactly.
That, yeah.
And this is the situation as well. At the Armoury on the other day, I went into the shop and I said to them, I'm not going to name the names because I don't want to get anyone in trouble, so I'm not going to name the name. No. I said, are there any Aubameyang shirts? Okay, we've got Aubameyang 14 name blocks in the back. Why would the club print the name blocks as well?
Also, what? So you don't. But there is a possibility this could be delayed till the summer, though. Is there that possibility that the transfer could be delayed because we're running quite late on this, aren't we?
From what the information I'm told, this is what makes sense. Deal's been agreed, but for the respect of Dortmund and their shareholders, it would be disrespectful for them to come out with such a deal about Aubameyang leaving before his court case when he's giving evidence. So from what I understand, they'll make the announcement, they'll confirm it to their shareholders after that, which is Monday, which has been moved forward, so it's not closer to deadline day, which is Wednesday at 11, so the deal can then be announced. In such, Aubameyang's agent's been in London, we've been there. We wouldn't have sent all of our big boys out there, we would have sent my negotiators, if that at all, because we're not one to send our main negotiators, ever. And equally, stop worrying, you can say it's all Arsenal, it's a different setup, completely. Wenger hasn't said, there's no Dick Law, it's different. And people need to remember that. And his tweet as well, Instagram is annoying me, people were responding to it. As my followers on Twitter have, I think, misunderstood, I'm in my final year of school, I'm in year 13, I'm doing history A-level. We study sources. His source clearly shows and indicates the way his word is to say that he's strong, ignore the paper talk. Bear in mind the paper talk is that we're not getting a deal done, we're struggling to meet their price. That's all the talk's been the last few days, remember that. There's been no paper talk that we've actually done the deal. The people say they've done the deal is myself, Clock End Talk, Molly and a few other publications. You can say what you want about Molly. The situation with Lamar was that they kept logging us out, and that's why we have so much money, and that's why we bid the last minute, it was rejected. It was a complete kerfuffle, and I will write a thing on that as well when I have time. But stop panicking, and I mean that.
Also, while we're here, I mean, while we're going on, what about there's talk of Johnny Evans. Have you got anything on that one, Johnny Evans?
I haven't been able to get hold of a number of people to confirm that yet, but from what I've understood, the deal is likely City don't have any interest. They know that they're in a really weak position. It's £3 million if they lose, if they get relegated. 10 million plus Debuchy. Pardew open to sell. The deal makes sense from all corners. It can be like also with Dortmund and the Aubameyang, it makes sense. He doesn't want to be there. They've admitted he's causing problems, and the players don't want him. And the players like him. They're mates with him, but they know he's for the team's sake. No, and also look how when I tweeted saying about 3 years before it happened, before it started in the media, saying that Aubameyang, the deal, because of stocks, they can't let anything be public and they have to keep denying it. Look how then Wenger, from smirking and being like, and all like basically admitting it, then now goes, saying today, it's best that I not say anything for the sake of the deal. Best not say anything because I'm happy with my players I've got now. If one player goes, one player comes back. Now why would Wenger say that? And then he said, I'm not talking about Aubameyang and like send me smirks. Like, because they got annoyed we were hinting about the deal. And equally, again, there's something that makes people look into is the fact that Aubameyang wants to make the move. His dad, even behind the media, even today, Dortmund are doing this for a reason. Hence why they got Aggie Wilson. That's why they came out negative and said, stop talking about our players. Because it's legalities.
Going on to Mesut Ozil. Anything on that?
So
I know you told
exactly.
me that could be done as well.
So people are calling me a fraud because they're listening to a tiny bit of information, they're not listening to it. Put it this way. These are what I've been saying for months now, and you can back this. I said, Aubameyang. I said, I got terms of war. I didn't get. I thought August was Hampton first before the deal traded because he was meant to, but the figures I got right, and everyone else was saying otherwise.
Yeah.
I've mentioned the catalyst for change of the people coming in, the exit of Wenger, which then got leaked to media about 2 months later, the possible takeover, which I'll get to after the window, and Aubameyang, but most importantly the contract. And I said Mesut Ozil will sign a new deal basically. Ambitious, he wants to be here, and so will Jack Wilshere, who will be Arsenal captain next season. And that is an exclusive that you heard here first.
Well, that's it. That's all we've got time for. That looks good, doesn't it? It looks good, and I trust this guy. I trust this guy with everything, and I'm going to put it. I really do trust this guy really a lot, and he's given me good information before.
Look,
he's never let me down. He's never let me down. I think this deal is going to happen.